I walk into St. Augustine's wedding hall wearing the best I own, a thrift store suit, a tie older than some guests, and shoes that have seen more factory floors than red carpets. None of it matters. Today is Riley's day, my girl, my whole heart, marrying a trust fund prince named Brent Drexler. The room is magazine perfect, chandeliers like frozen fireworks, linens that require a PhD, flowers for miles. The Drexlers look like a Forbes cover shoot. My side? We cleaned up nice, but no one's mistaking us for a country club. I find my place card and stop cold. Charity case by obligation. Not Marcus Carter, father of the bride. Not even Marcus. Charity case. The laughter starts soft, then grows. A cousin points. A hat worth my rent tilts toward my shoes. Guess they invited the janitor for pity. My throat burns. I push back the chair. Fine. Let them have their party. Riley has her new family now. I turn for the door. The music dies. Riley stands barefoot on the dance floor. Heels in one hand, mic in the other. White silk trailing behind her like battle flags. The joy is gone from her face. Something harder has taken its place. I'm done, she says. A few rich laughs because discomfort must be entertainment. Brent reaches for her. She steps away. Dad, she says into the mic, voice steady as steel. We're leaving now. She walks, doesn't storm, through the gasps, the whispers, the spilled champagne. I follow. Outside, under a valet lane, lined with Bentleys, she opens the door of my dented Honda like it's a chariot. I'm choosing my family, she says. The one that actually raised me. The tape at my tiny kitchen table, amid the groan of an ancient coffee maker, Riley, shows me a video from last night's rehearsal dinner. Brent's father, Alan, holding court. He's a glorified handyman in a house barely above Section 8. His wife smirks. Let's be accurate, janitor. Then Brent. Can't wait for her face when she meets her real dad instead of the charity case. The coffee pot hits the floor. My hands shake. Riley's don't. I heard it all, she says, and I walked. The envelope, she slides a thick manila envelope across the table. Inside, incorporation papers, trust docs, share certificates, then a prenup stamped void. She never signed. I said I'd sign after the wedding. She smiles. People here, what they want when they think you're grateful. She flips to a share purchase agreement. I used Grandpa's insurance and partnered with angry minority shareholders. Dad, my company, Winter Light Holdings, now owns 37% of Drexler Medical. Logistics. With Ellen Price, Marcus Wong, and Sarah Chun, we control 51%. She places one last paper in front of me, proxy authorization. Gives you my vote, she says. You'll be the largest voting bloc in the room. My name, Marcus Anthony Carter, on corporate letterhead. I can barely breathe. You don't need to know medical logistics, Riley says. Just show up and vote. The boardroom. 2 days later, I'm in a tailored suit with my name sewn in the pocket, riding an elevator to the 18th floor. The boardroom is marble, glass, and intimidation. Alan sits at the head. Brent looks deflated in a tux he forgot to return. Riley lays the proxies on the table. Ellen confirms the filings, control shifts. Alan sputters. Riley opens folder 2, falsified FDA reports, shell companies, invoices triple market rate, money, piped to a Bahamian uncle. Ellen calls a vote of no confidence. A chorus of, aye. Alan, Walter, and Brent are removed. Motion to appoint Marcus Carter as interim board chair, Riley says. Seconded. Passed. Alan threatens lawsuits. Sarah smiles. With what money? Your personal assets are collateral for your crypto losses. I sign the transfer. My scrawl, the same one from field trip forms, now worth millions. Welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Chairman, Ellen says. Riley smooths her wedding dress and, without looking up, ends Brent's last plea. The only thing I regret is spending 8 months planning a wedding with someone who mocked my father. Resolution, not revenge back home. Riley slides over the Carter Health Equity Trust documents. We're not cashing out, she says. We're restructuring. Drexler profits will fund affordable care, prescription assistance, clinic partnerships, mobile health units, legal, sustainable, meant for families like ours. I sign beside my daughter. The charity case just inherited a kingdom, and we're turning it into a clinic. Midnight knock at 11:47 p.m. Brent arrives. Wrinkled, red-eyed, desperate. Please, Mr. Carter, 5 minutes with Riley. Riley steps in, calm. Hands him an envelope through the chain door. Cease and desist, harassment documentation, restraining order prep. I love you, he pleads. She reads his texts aloud. Threats, condescension. Your father doesn't understand business. You needed saving, she tells him. I stopped applying for the job. Door closed. Lock turned. Freedom. The first fare. A month later, under a banner that reads, Carter Health Access Fund, we distribute insulin, inhalers, BP cuffs, everything vetted and legal, through local clinics and community partners. The line wraps the, Park! This isn't charity, Riley says from a borrowed podium. It's justice. Care is a right, not a luxury. She points at me. This is the man who made it possible. Applause hits like a wave. I say what I know. I'm not a businessman. I'm a guy who's had to choose between prescriptions and the electric bill. We're done choosing. The lecture 1 year later at UC Davis. Riley, 20 years old, Navy Blazer, CEO, delivers strategic patience. Winning by watching to a packed hall. The arrogant always underestimate you, she says. That's your opening. What was the pivot? A professor asks. When I realized integrity isn't DNA, it's example, she answers, looking at me. My father taught me that power without purpose is just expensive entertainment. Outside, a billboard, integrity is inherited. Carter Health Equity Trust. We changed the story, from charity case to changemakers. 7th, the missed calls at 6:23 a.m. My phone shows 247 missed calls. Brent, 89, Allen, 76, lawyers, fixers, voicemails. Swing from threats to bargains. A year ago, I would have shaken. Today, Riley powers the phone off and drops it in the junk drawer. Problem solved, she grins. The headlines say it all. Medical supply dynasty falls to proxy takeover. Former janitor becomes interim chairman. Wedding walkout reshapes healthcare. Federal investigators handle the Drexlers. We handle clinics, contracts, and families who finally get refills without choosing between rent and medicine. In a quiet kitchen that doesn't leak when it rains, I look at my daughter, my CEO, and the paperwork of a life we built out of grit and grace. Not revenge, Riley says. Resolution, I finish. For the first time in my life, I'm not waiting to be invited to the table. I am the table, and we're feeding a lot of people.